Hello, everybody. Okay, wait until I share my screen first now. Okay. So, today we will now continue from our last class. Okay. I think we stop at the 2.2. So now we talk about 2.3, characteristic of a mission and mission statement. Okay. So, of course, all statements should be clear, and that's very important. We don't want to have any ambiguity. Okay. For example, uh, a good mission statement is inspiring, clear, and ambitious. Okay, the mission statement should be specific, simple, and practical. So anyway, both statements should be easy to understand and also to memorize. Okay, so if it's easy to understand and easy to memorize, it's easy for the employees and customers to connect with the organization purpose. Okay? So if you look at this chart here, or diagram here, what are the good characteristics? Future focus, simple and clear, magnetic in the sense that it draws people in, okay, inspirational, uplift the people, and it should be logical. Okay. So now we'll look at one particular video. So you can see the source is here. You can just click on it, open hyperlink. I will do a transcribe for you. So this speaker, the title of this video is mission statement of characteristic. Okay, so again, they repeat to be short, focused, easily understood. It should also inspire people and define why the organization exists. Okay, so that's basically a repetition of just now the diagram. Now, two examples. Okay, one is from a housing organization that says, "We believe everyone deserves access to home ownership." That is a mission statement. Okay, their mission statement for that company is they believe everyone deserves access to home ownership. Okay. Another company is a consumer product organization that says we design and deliver thin, top outdoor, high value product for uh, active consumers for all ages. So it's very easy to understand. Okay. So let's check, evaluate whether the organization vision is inspiring and ambitious. So I hope you're working in an organization that has got a mission statement. Sometimes the mission statement they have, but they don't let the employees know. So if your company doesn't have, you should ask, and then if maybe they will show it to you. Or if they say they don't have, then maybe you should try to consider to tell your bosses who have a mission statement. Or failing that, you can of course look at any company mission statement, just go to the net and see the mission statement. Okay. And whether you think the mission statement is simple, specific, and practical, and consider how well this statement connect employees and customers. So I want you to evaluate. Okay. Evaluate how these statements connect employees and customers to organization purpose. So let's look at the check 2.3. How do you do such evaluation? So you will check whether does it inspire vision? Okay, whether it motivates people, forward-looking goal. Okay, so it should also excite people about the future because excitement, uh, when you create excitement with people, people get more energy. Yes, get more energy, and they will be more motivated because they're excited. Okay, and the other one is it clear? Is the wording clear, simple? Is it practical? That means, is it achievable? So it should explain what the organization does in a simple and realistic way, achievable, realistic way. Okay. And the next one is how to evaluate connection to purpose. Does the statement, is it connected? Do they connect the employees and customers to the organization purpose? Okay, now when you talk about connection, you can then majority is employees and customers. You can also consider connection to your suppliers. Okay, do they help everybody to be aligned in the same direction? Okay, that's how you evaluate. So how do you evaluate the company mission statement? Is it inspiring? Is it clear and practical? Is it have a connection purpose? Okay, so we go back now to the activities. What is the 2.3 activity? What I want you to do is formulate a compelling mission statement that inspires action, clear to its purpose. Now, how do you formulate it? So the same three items just now we say, right? So you follow the three items and then you draft. Now you may have currently your company may have got a vision statement. So compare what you draft with what company has. So and see whether how to relate your one. I don't know whether your one will be better than the company one. If it's better, then you should suggest changes in your company. But if what you draft is not so good as compared to your current company one, then you should learn something. Okay. So also next, I want you to design a vision statement. Easy to understand, practical. Okay. And then again compare to your company vision. What you draft compare with your company. Huh? So just activity. So now we go to the 2.4. Having said that, what are the components? What are the materials? Okay, so that it should be incorporated in the vision statement. We should talk about the purpose of organization and what it aims to achieve. Okay, that's the first. Okay, what's the organization purpose? So like just now I give you an example. You say his purpose is to make everybody have a house. Okay, and what it aims to achieve, that they can get the house. Okay, now the second component, your values and principles. So sometimes they say that you're going to, my mission is going to have a house. Maybe the values and principle is maybe something like American dream, house ownership. Okay. The goals and objectives. Okay, it should be inside there. So basically, you should treat what are components, organization purpose, what it aims to achieve. Second one, talk about something about the organization values and principles. And the third one, talk about the goals and objectives. Right. So let's look at this. So I have made a graph, a diagram for you. The organization purpose, value and principle goals. Okay. What the organization does. Purpose, value and principle, value and principle shape how the organization operates. Maybe let's say you want to operate in an ethical manner. Okay. Or last one, where you want to achieve in the future. And these are three things. So if you look at the video, of course, here have got 9 components. Okay, I just showed just now the 3. That is the basic one, must have. But then maybe other items you may want to add in. But I think this is an example of a video, but I don't think you should incorporate so many. So it should be brief statement, easy to understand, easy to memorize. But anyway, we'll look at it. So this video shows the 9 components, comprehensive mission statement. What are the 9? Talking to the customer about a product or service, a market, technology, concern for survival, growth, concern for employees. So this is to do this. Maybe you're going to have maybe at least 1 paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs. Okay, you can have it. if you want to incorporate things into the mission statement, but rather than you don't, okay? But rather than you don't, because you need to be clear and concise. Anyway, so let's look at the self-check. Evaluate whether the complete statement clearly communicates the organization concept. So how do you evaluate? How do you evaluate the mission statement? Does it clearly communicate the organization purpose, values, and goals? So you got a mission statement. How do you evaluate? Okay, got to do the clear communication. So how do you evaluate? So let's look at 2.4. How do you evaluate the mission statement as far as the communication tool? Does it have clarity of purpose? Does it explain why the organization exists? Reflection of values? Whether there's a guidance on goals? Any specific goals? Okay. So having a look at that, we will now look at the activity in evaluate your company vision statement to identify the three main components. The purpose, is it there? The values are there, is there the future goals are there? Okay. So if it's there, analyze how these three elements provide direction, unity, effort, and clarity for good. Okay. So you have just here is to put on your thinking cap to look at your current company statement. Does it have these two main components? Purpose, values, future goals. Like what is shown here. The purpose, values, goals, and objectives. So that's how you evaluate companies' mission statement. So using these same three principles, you can draft your own mission statement currently. Okay. So this 2.4. Now I'd like to talk about 2.5. How do you write? Okay. A well-written statement should clearly communicate the values, goals, and its targeted audience. Clearly communicate to them. Okay. So it's important to make it short, clear, and focus on what the organization does, who is served, customer, and how it add value. Okay. So we're going a little bit more detail. So we have a video here, creating your own vision statement. Okay, so I will do a transcribe here. How to write a statement in 6 minutes. This is the author name. So how the author share a formula. The formula first is to share what impact you want to leave on the world, and then state how you're going to do it. So the speaker give two examples of mission statement. Walmart mission is to save people money so they can live better. So what positive impact you want to have? Live better. How you going to do that? How you people can live better? We try to sell things that can save people money. Okay? You can see how they're doing it. The mission vision is to be the world most customer focused organization. Okay? Here, what you want to do, world most customer focused, but it does not show how to do it. Okay? How you want to live the world most customer. It doesn't show. So in a way, this Walmart, this Amazon mission is not so good as compared to Walmart. Okay, so let's look at another video. When to revisit your mission and mission. This video explains that once in a while you need to go and check your mission. Why? Because the internal external environment changes. So maybe it's a political, economic, social, or technological changes that will change your mission and vision. So you need to revisit, make it again. Is this still applicable? You need to change it. Now, normally I will want you to be very careful about changing the mission. Okay, mission you can change. Normally, mission will change more frequent than the mission. Mission don't really change unless there's a very fundamental change. So, they recommend you to go at least once a year to look at your mission, more frequently. Okay, if they are growing quickly, if your company is growing quickly, and the changes are changing quickly. So if you check, if I ask you to assess with organization, we shall continue to communicate and values, purpose, value, and so how do you, what method do you use to assess your company mission community? Does it continue to communicate with core values, target? So the method two, this is not whether the company mission is good or not. Whenever I use the word assess and evaluate, we are trying to teach you how to evaluate what is there. Okay, so that you can know the strength and weakness. So when you have a weakness, you must know how to tell people or do something to make it better. Okay, we're not saying that mission statement should have this. No, we are saying that assess whether your mission statement does it do this, communicate core value, target, purpose, and so forth. So let's look at 2.5. Assess whether your company mission continues to communicate its core values. So for core values, check if the mission statement still reflects the organization fundamental values and clearly communicate its purpose. So check this one. Target audience. Does it speak to the audience that is needed? It should align with needs expectation of customers, partners. Guiding action and strategy. See whether if the mission help employee understand how their action contribute to the organization. Meaning it supports strategic decision. So that's how we assess. Now, okay, so we are looking at the key terms now. Let's look at the activities. What I want you to do, assess the importance of writing and evaluating instrument is to define. So I want you to assess, is it important to write? Is it important to evaluate? Yeah, obviously it's important to write and it's important to evaluate. Okay. So this is a summary. Mission relies on a mission statement to guide an organization work path. The vision set the future goal, while the mission is right now. The difference between mission and vision is important. Mission look forward. Mission is explaining what is going on right now. Okay, so don't mix your mission with your vision and your vision with your mission or your mission with your mission. So very clearly, mission is what they want to do. Mission is what they want to achieve in the future. How long the future depending. You can have a short mission, time frame, 1 year, 6 months, or you can have a vision for a long time, maybe 2 years or 3 years. A good mission helps organize an organization to succeed. Okay, they are clear. They give clear guidance to motivate employees, keep the organization on track. And writing and developing mission statements should require regular reviews. Once a quarter, maybe in the quarterly meeting that you have in your company. So I want you to look at the case study. This is Amazon mission. Here's the case study. So Amazon vision to be the most customer-oriented centric organization, focusing on seamless shopping experience for customers. So this one shows a commitment by Amazon about customer satisfaction. Okay, so that means what? We must sell a range of products and services that provide satisfaction, and our Amazon platform is easy to use, and we also got fast delivery options. Okay, Now, the vision, this is the mission, most customer-centric organization. The vision, Earth's best employer and Earth's safer place to work. Now, you'll notice that this one, there is no target. It's like not clear target. It's like a general target. Okay? Earth best employer and Earth safest place. Okay, I think maybe Amazon is too big a company to put in the vision very detailed here. Because Amazon may have got operating in different countries, but very big, and each functional unit is separate by itself. So each business unit separate by itself, so that each business unit will have more detailed. Well, if you are a small company, I would like to see your vision to be more clear, okay, not so general. What do you mean by the Earth best employer? How do you measure you are best employee? How do you measure safety place to work? So you're not measuring, you are giving a hope or suggestion, or you think what should be the criteria. It's not written here. That's why I say this vision of the reason is maybe so. But they can explain that this is your headquarters. Individual strategic business unit in the family of the companies that make up the region. Each of the company will have more detailed. I think the mission is okay. It's only the mission. So we look at the above case, okay? And then you're supposed to think about something. Value to effectiveness mission in establishing customer again, generating new ideas for employee safety, design a strategy to integrate mission vision into other countries. So I would say maybe the mission is correct for other countries, but the mission need to be more spot on for each local environment. Other than that, this is the model answers. So these are key terms, and these are the references. Okay. So we will now move to chapter 3. Okay. So under chapter 3, now we're going to look at the assessment. Assessment means looking, assess, evaluate. Whether are needed the same wordings. Okay. What it means is look at a situation and think whether it's okay or not okay. This is called assessing. So chapter 3 is on external. So we're assessing the external environment and how will it affect your company. The next chapter is the internal. So we look at the factors, internal factors that affects the company. Anyway, that's chapter 4, topic 4. So now we're going to do topic 3, the external assessment. Okay, it's break down into 5 categories: the nature of an external audit, competitive analysis, forecasting tool and techniques, global challenges, competitive profile metrics. This is quite a very famous metric, CBM. Okay, so by the end of this topic, you as a student should be able to formulate comprehensive strategy by integrating insights from internal audit, including economic, environmental, political, and technological forces to enhance organization adaptability in government operation. Okay, that is number 2. Second, you should be able to design some framework like the CPM. Okay, so we'll talk about CPM a bit later. And also you should be able to do some forecasting based on some forecasting technique, okay, which I will explain later, to predict the market trend and assess competitors' strength. Okay. Last one, we should be able to develop innovative approaches to address global challenges by synthesizing means break it down to understand competitive insight and manage advanced forecasting tools for strategic decision making in international market. Okay, so now we'll do the first one. What is an external audit? External means the forces in play outside of the company. Normally, we have to talk about political, economic, social, technology. That's the most common. And a company, there are many chances that you cannot dictate what's happening. What's happening outside is beyond, in many cases, is beyond the company to manage. Some yes. Like for example, like NVIDIA, IC maker, they can control the technology because they are the technologists. But most companies, sometimes technology just come out and we faster scramble to copy it or make it better or change it or something. So technology come by itself and then they need to meet. And the same thing like political. Most companies cannot control the political thinking of the politicians or the government. Same as the economy. The company is only part of the economy. There are many other players. Consumers, competitors, suppliers, all this. You don't control the external so much. Okay? Nearly impossible. Even if you're a monopoly, there are some factors that you cannot control, political, economic, or social. Okay? So that one you cannot control, even though you are a monopoly. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to perform an external audit. Understand the factors outside their control that impact the company performance. This will include economic conditions like inflation, interest rate. Of course, when there's an inflation, so when the company buy raw materials, it will come at an inflated cost. So the cost of raw material comes as an inflated cost. Okay? Or your employees, after the salary increment, there's additional cost of the increment. And we cannot control that. Okay? Or for example, the economy. Suddenly the economy is booming, or suddenly the economy is going that bad. Recession coming, you cannot control as a single company. Okay. What happens if there's inflation? You buy raw materials expensive, and the company buy raw materials expensive, so they will sell the goods, their finished good more expensive. Okay. And interest rate go up and go down. Well, depending on the supply and demand of money. Okay. So if the interest rate goes up, company are affected in two ways. If you need to borrow money, you can pay higher interest, right? It is inflation. But if you don't need borrow money, you need to put the money in the bank. Higher interest rate means you get more returns. And so, in times like that, when there is interest rate moving up, and some company cannot make so much profit, they will say, okay, I'm not going to do any more new investment. I take the money and put in the bank will give me a good interest rate. Okay, right? So there's so many ways of doing things. So the interest rate will affect the company whether to invest in a new machine or buy back their own shares or things like that. And then you got things like climate change, political change. Now let's look at the climate change, because the climate is changing. So if you are a farmer, maybe you have a shorter period to do the farming and then do your harvesting, right? So climate change, or your field is become there's no water, the field is dry up and the plant will die because of no water. So there's a lot of climate change policies. But the funny thing is, even in logistics, uh, when there's a warming uh, weather, the iceberg melt, sea level goes up. When sea level goes up in Arctic Ocean, last time the boat cannot cross. Now, because of climate getting hotter, the glacier is melting. There's no water in the Arctic Ocean. Now, ship can pass safely. Sure. So, if you're from Asia, you don't need, if you are shipping to US, you don't have to travel a very, very long way. Okay? Go to the Pacific Ocean. You have a shorter way that goes to the Arctic Ocean. Now from Asia, go to USA. Okay? The, the West Coast, for example. Okay? So, climate change or political changes, new laws. So maybe last time they say they don't have much control, and now they want to control. Give an example. Maybe you use the word sugar free in your product. You don't make sure it's sugar free. Don't bluff it with the word sucrose or fructose. Okay? Or you say it with the word caffeine. Okay. So if you say that your chocolate, okay, what is the level of caffeine? You need to write down there. That was its new law. Okay. So if you have certain product, then will be controlled by the government in one way or other. So you have to follow those rules. Okay. And there's technological advances. Okay. So now slowly and slowly, people are moving away from petrol car to electric cars. So there will be impact on you. Okay. So therefore, when you're doing external assessment, you have to, of course, look at all the players external. So who are the players external? Your supplier, your customer. And sometimes your supplier, supplier. Supplier. Let's say, for example, you make cars. So you're buying from Dunlop tires. Dunlop make tire using the rubber estate, rubber tapper to tap the rubber. So we're talking about your supplier, Dunlop, the supplier tire, and your supplier. You should mix we do a tapping of the rubber, the taps, right? So something we will remember that, because if the supplier got problem, that means the supplier cannot deliver to you. So don't just look at your supplier, it may be the supplier you see. Okay. So by identifying the external issue, you can see opportunity and you can see threats. Okay, so what are the opportunities? Let's say, for example, your company make cars, petrol cars. So there's an opportunity because people are talking about climatic change. They don't want to use so much carbon products, so they want to go with the car. So the opportunity is there in electric. That is the opportunity. But you can make. What is threat? Threat is maybe your competitor also interested in making electric cars. Or the threat is maybe the petrol car people will sell their car cheaper. And you go to electric car, maybe have to spend a lot of money on R&D. So your product may not be competitive. So the opportunity you got touched on. Normally, what the business does is that there may be opportunities there, but they cannot grab it. Why? Because you don't have the resources to grab. So let's say, for example, you are now making a petrol car. Opportunity is for electric car. You don't have the technology, you don't have the know-how, and you don't have the money, and you don't have the time. Or maybe the competition will be very strong. So maybe you have the opportunity, but you do that. In many cases, all you do is normally your first priority, you want to take the opportunity. So you have to identify what are the correct opportunities. So when you identify opportunity, you're using a forecast. So we forecast in the future that many people use electric car. What happens if your forecast is that? Then you may build a factory that's making electric car that you're going to buy. Therefore, Opportunity depends on the accuracy of your approach. What about weakness? Weakness don't really look too much at forecast or what about threats? Threats normally can be easily foreseeable. Compare the opportunity. When you compare opportunity and threats, when you're doing forecasting for opportunity and doing forecasting for threat, it's easy to forecast a threat and it's more difficult to forecast your opportunity. And if your forecast for opportunity is wrong, well, then goes your money, yes. Huh? There goes your money. So therefore it's fortunate. Now how do you do? You can have a brainstorm with your members, or you can go to conferences, roadshows, expos, travel around. But I think the most important thing about opportunity and threat is you must have the antenna, the TV antenna to collect the signals. You can collect it from anywhere: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Right? You can get it from newspapers, journals, articles written by somebody. There is no limit for you to get that. The problem is there may be too much data for you to collect. When you don't have time to go through, which one is relevant. Sometimes you may make a mistake. Right? So from the opportunity, you may come out 20 goals, but your resources can. But come here 20 is still a lot maybe. 20 objectives. Right? So if you are not doing correctly your environment, external environment assessment, you are looking at the wrong opportunity and you're looking at the wrong weakness. Looking at the wrong weakness is even more terrible. Instead of correcting an error, you went and correct something that does not need to be correction. Then what is useful? Okay, so this is what it means by opportunity and trust. There are big things like economic forces like recession can reduce government spending. Okay, environment issue like new sustainable law can you need to adopt more greener practices, right? I think a few years back, in the state of Selangor, the state government say stop having the straw, plastic straw. So if you're a plastic straw manufacturer, the business just gone because the government goes against you. You cannot make and sell any plastic straw. Yeah. So therefore, last time your mission and vision you need to change. Maybe you need to find new business, no more plastic straw. Okay. So also now in Selangor, they are implementing, if you want plastic bags, you will charge you something, 20 cents or 30 cents. Or if it was a food container plastic one, they charge you maybe 70 cents. Why the government do that? Government want to reduce usage of plastic. Okay? So you may have to pay more or you have to take home, bring from home your container to reduce. So therefore, if you're a plastic container manufacturer, suddenly your business will go down. These are all facts because of new governments. Okay. So if you keep on changing, there may be new taxes. So recently in Malaysia, we have from last time we have no sales and service tax. We don't have VAT. Then they introduce sales and service tax, SST. Then they drop it out. Now they go back to GST. Then they drop it out and then go back to SST. So sometimes they change up and down. And sometimes the SST numbers 3% can go to 5% and 6%. Now, if you are in a restaurant business, so you are subjected to SST. Let's say the SST is 6%. What does that? That means your customer maybe spend less than 6% because they can reserve an extra 6% for SST. So your business will go down a little bit. Okay, so these are all facts. Of course, there are big opportunities, small opportunity, big threat, small threat. In US, the government is got two bodies, the House of Representatives and the Senate. was in Malaysia, you know. And we got two types of government bodies, the Senate and also Dewan Rakyat and the Dewan Parliament, Dewan Rakyat organization. What happens is in Malaysia, they allow lobbying. What is lobbying? Lobbying is when big companies in America, they give money to some people. We call them the lobbyists. The lobbyist people will take the money and then they do their work, which is to talk to the lawmakers in US. So for example, if you are mineral water manufacturer and you want mineral water to go down, so maybe you get a lobbyist to talk to the government to reduce the price of water. Is this very agreeable or is it allowable in the law? In US, yes. That's why they can register the lobbyists. So all lobbyists need to be registered so that they are allowed to oppose to the politician. So if you are looking for an opportunity and you want to make an opportunity, if you're America, you talk to the lobbyists, you pay the lobbyists big sum of money, and the lobbyists will talk to the government to make your idea become a opportunity. For them, it is some fact. Maybe the government say smoking is very bad, so we want to increase the tax for smokers. Now you're a cigarette company. That's a very bad threat. So you go and get the lobbyist to talk to the government and delay this on for 5 years. That's what it means. Looking at opportunity and cost. So there's no limit to the examples that I can give you, so you can just see for yourself if you're looking at a company, what are the external opportunities and what are the external threats. The problem is when you review the opportunities and when you review the threat, your competitor is also viewing, but they may not be viewing exactly the same. Some of the opportunity and threat is applicable to you and your competitor. Some opportunity is not available. Like for example, both you and your competitor are making petrol cars, but you have the technology to make electric cars. So that's an opportunity for you. Your competitor is a small company. They don't have the resources to make electrical cars. So that's not opportunity at all. So opportunity is sometimes only open to certain people who can. If you cannot do it, it's not an opportunity for you. That's all. So same as tax. Okay, a certain company may have a threat. Let's say, for example, the government want to increase the tax for smokers. You want to smoke, you're selling cigarettes. That's a threat. A company that's making mineral water don't care about the tax for the cigarettes. So therefore, that's what I'm going to try to say to you. If you are in the same industrial group, if all are you selling, so 10 companies are selling cigarettes, the price may be the same. The opportunity may be the same. Some is more opportunity, some less opportunity. Okay. Now, when there's a new technology, technology sometimes comes very, very fast. And you have no time to adapt. That is an opportunity or the threat at the same time. Okay. So let's say, for example, now you can notice that we have handphones that can be sold. So if you're a handphone maker, this is an opportunity to have a new product. The handphone can be folded. At the same time, this technology where handphone be folded will be a threat for your competitor because they don't know how to make it. But you know how to make it, it's an opportunity. So basically, we are looking at PES, PSP, political, economic, social, and technology. So this is how you normally group your opportunity and threats, and you can put in terms of point form or metrics or Likert scale, which is important, which is not important. Normally we try to tackle the important first. Okay, so there's a video, operational eventually influenced by its external environment. The external environment will influence you. It's very often like that. You influence the external, little bit difficult. Unless you have something new, okay, then you can influence the external. But most of us, we don't do pure research, we don't have something new. Sometimes we just follow. So we even have tests, and the last two EL is for environmental and legal. This is a new one, question. Okay. So we can read from here. Evaluate to extend to which external forces shape an organization strategy. Evaluate to extend. How big is the changes? Now, this question is a trick question because it depends on what industry you are in. There are certain industries which actually very little. Now, for example, the Milo. You need Milo, there's so much for not new technology family. Government don't care because it's a good fit. Okay? Social don't change so much. From young, they'll be drinking Milo. So there's this kind of company, Milo, they don't really say. But most of the other companies, not the same. Okay, listen. If you are monopoly, you don't have to waste so much of it. Just be a monopoly. If you are oligopoly, little bit more. If you are in a perfect competition environment, you will be very. Okay, so let's look at it. 3.1. So how do you evaluate? Look at the economy sheet. So if the economy is shifting, does the company adjust accordingly? That's how you evaluate. Now more and more environmental changes. Okay? We are forced to adopt eco-friendly practices. Look at the strategy that they consider eco-friendly. Then political policy and technology advancement. Government tax, new technology, new tools. So these three are the big ones. Okay. So what is the activity that you should be looking at? The 3.1. Conduct an external audit of your own company. Your own company. What are the external opportunities and opportunities? And you may not be 100%. Just identify. And if you got a chance, you talk to your strategic manager in your company. What's your assessment type of assessment? You will surprised. Okay. You may have new ideas that manager can all the managers have new things that is entirely strange to you. Okay? So it depends. So what we're saying is that the strategic manager, when you do external opportunity and there is no clear sign. In the same company, if you have two strategic managers and you compare, sometimes there are different opportunity on trust to each company. Why is that? Because of your antenna. Some have more longer antenna, some have shorter antenna. Okay? Some may be biased, some may be foolish. It's possible. Why? Because your strategic manager is a human being. So the best way to recognize opportunity attack is not just one person. They got few people. The senior people sit down. Okay, the operation manager, the marketing manager, the strategic manager, strategic management people, the CEO, the GM, they brainstorm. Maybe 1 day, 2 day, 1 week. They come out all the ideas, they put into yellow paper, put into the board, the board, and then read one each one, and throw away some is irrelevant or nonsense. The balance is okay. Huh? The opportunity. having said that, you also need to do a competitive analysis to understand your rivals. Now, if you have a monopoly, you don't have the business. Unless your monopoly will be taken away from you. Unless you're a monopoly, the rest of us, we need to understand. For you to understand, you are a company. I know it's the same. You are making product. They also making. You have strategic management. You also for strategic management. What are you are competing? And maybe there are 100 of you competing the same consumers, same customers. So, what should we do? If we can innovate so much, we don't have to worry about that. Okay. But innovation takes time and skill and money and resources. So if all of you are nearly the same level, you look at what the rivals are doing. Get to who is your rival? That's important. Okay, let's look at the car industry. If you look at the luxury car, looking at Lexus, BMW, right? Mercedes, Audi, the luxury thing. If you are Proton, those are not your vendors. Those are not your vendors. If you are Proton, who is your vendor? Very big one. If you are in the middle of the road, who is Toyota rival? Honda, Mazda. So you may have for cars 3 banks. And each rival should know who they are. If you are Rolls Royce, your rival is not very big. If you are Formula One, your rival is not. Understand who's your rival, what you think they were doing, what are they doing here, what they were doing, and how should we counter them? Counter them. Because every dollar that a customer spends in Peru means $1 spent lesser on your Proton. If one customer go to Perodua buy one car, means one Proton sell less on it. And the impact is very, very big. Instead of +1, now you actually -1. From +1 to -1. You understand? So it's very big. So how do you analyze that? You've got many case way of doing. SWOT is one way. Porter 5 forces, group analysis, blue ocean, benchmarking, customer analysis. Okay, so I'm not going to go through it. This one later on, future chapters will go through it. Okay, we just see to repeat again what is the personal, political, economic, social, technology, environmental, and legal. Okay. As far as this is concerned, later we will go. Okay, there's one chapter on statistics. Okay, so we have a legal and personal. Okay, it's a framework. A framework means a method. So we group the external environment into this PST. So in PST, for each of them, PESTER, for each of them, there can be opportunity, there can also be threat. One, let's say for politics, it can be both opportunity and threat, or it can just only be opportunity, or can just be threats. Okay, it doesn't matter. Because the problem is you need to have a high antenna to get all the data. Okay, so now we look at the first one, SWOT is written here. First one, competitive analysis. There's a video. This video is about analysis of SWOT. The strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat of a business. It's a useful tool. So you put into each box. So some opportunity that you identify, of course you can identify any kind of opportunity. I think very important. You need 5 or 6 opportunity, 5 or 6 weakness, 5 or 6 strength, 5 or 6. It's like a small paper, you put into a sticker block paper, and then sticker paper, then put into the box. Then you go to one by one, then some will take it. So at the end of the day, you can achieve. Okay, let's say for example, now you're going to, you are practical. Okay, I'm practical. Okay? I want to analyze. So what the opportunity occurred for me? My opportunity is I'm Coca-Cola. They are Coca-Cola. My opportunity is Coca-Cola do not have Michael Jackson. We have Michael Jackson. We pay a lot of money. So there's opportunity. So we use Michael Jackson name face everywhere. But what is our weakness? It's Coca-Cola expensive. Our weakness is their brand logo. White and red. Easy to see. That is our weakness. Our weakness, we got blue color some more. And the pattern very difficult to see. So we have to change our. What are the opportunities or threats? Coca-Cola is a very strong threat for us because they got diet Coke. That is a very big threat. We don't have diet Nixon. We have to consider. Okay. So what are the opportunity? What is our strength so far? So you need to identify. So from there, you think of way how to kill your or counter your competition. The point is really to do if the rival is existing. You can see. Also, suddenly got one new Maverick comes out of the blue. Also, is a difficult competitive. Okay. Brainstorming. Your team, I say, get them together, identify your strength and threat, okay? Collecting data from various sources. Now, one good way to analyze the collect data is if I'm practical. So if I'm factory at this Coca-Cola sell to, for example, this is the market. I will talk to the same market owner. Hey, Coca-Cola, we got new ideas now. But we need promotion. Then I get the spy. Who's the spy? The spy is the customer. So I will use that spy to get information to counter Coca-Cola competition. That's anything new. The Coca-Cola want to do. Now, here there's another one second, which is called microprocessors. Okay. Porter 5. Look, we have done this one. Now, Porter 5 is a very Michael Porter is a very famous American author in management. Very, very famous. Okay. So no, I didn't show you the picture. You can go to internet and see the picture. So there are certain sources. Okay, rivalry among existing competitors. Is the rivalry very strong? Then you will be more tough. You have a threat of new people coming in to your business. Threat of substitute product. You hope what's the substitute product? People drink coffee, people drink tea. So are these people getting stronger? If these people are getting stronger, you're selling lesser technology. Okay? Bargaining power of supplier. So to make Coca-Cola, maybe we must buy water, we must buy glass. If this is very powerful, they increase the price, what you want to do. Okay? Then bargaining power of our customers. If I'm making Coca-Cola, you want to sell to Aeon, Aeon is so big, they don't want to demand discount. Or Aeon is not so powerful, we can increase the price to our customers. So this so that's what you can do comparing your business with these very famous 5 bosses. So by analyzing these forces, we can get a better understanding of the landscape and identify a potential threat. Okay. Now, in many cases, if you imagine you are in the center here. So imagine you are in the center here, and all these are bombarding you. Now, not all of them will be very powerful. Sometimes one is powerful, another one is powerful. Right? So those is very dangerous for you. You must think of a way to counter them. Those that are not powerful one, just look up. Maybe tomorrow they become more powerful. So that's stress. Competition. Now the other one is competition among existing. This one. You are in the soft drink industry. A lot of things. So if somebody suddenly reduce price, everybody will because the stock is different. Okay? So if you have lesser competitors, if you are monopoly, you don't worry. So we have a question for you. You whether conducting a company only can could guide a business in shaping strategy that improve their position. Evaluate. Think whether you conduct a company is it good or not. Okay, so let's look at 3.2. When you're doing a competitive analysis, when a company is doing, can they identify strength and weakness? Can they spot opportunity and threats? Okay, and with these two, does it improve your decision making? If the company is doing these two, and finally these two result in the number three, okay. If the company is not doing one or two, definitely they cannot do very well. Okay. So see whether your company is doing that. So then the activity for it, you the impact of communication on business immediately find by identifying your company. Okay. So I want you to do a SWOT for your company. Okay. That's all. So now we go to forecasting. Now when we're talking about forecasting, we're talking about opportunity and threats. Some is existing opportunity that you can see. Some opportunity is forecasted that there will be a future opportunity. The same as threats. There may be existing threats. There also will be forecasting new threats. For example, we may see more threats coming in regarding the government want to control carbon usage. You can see why. Because everywhere, somewhere got climate problem, and that will cause many people happy, and they will do voting for the politician who will support climate control. So we can see that. So when we focus, we can focus the threat. The threat is that more and more government will come out new laws to better the climate in the world. So that's so therefore we can see the opportunity. Okay? The opportunity is we will not we will make electric cars, we will make more wind turbines, or we have to future will be more solar power. Okay, so potential forecasted forecasted opportunities. How about internal strength and weakness? You look at our company, we got one or two very good marketing people, marketing team. We forecast they're going to resign soon, are going to retire. So there will be a big weakness was when our marketing people go away because of the timing. But how do we handle it? Okay? Or we can forecast a spread. The economy is full of money, therefore borrowing will be cheaper. So we forecast that we can borrow cheaper because the economy is full of money. So we can borrow cheaper. So these are examples of forecasting. Now to do that, you may want to have some tools to help you in your forecasting. It's not just like you sit down there and think about what's going to happen in the future. You may want to use some tools to improve your forecasting. Okay? So the usage of forecasting tools, the SWOT forecasting tool, for example, you have reached a SWOT already, and you use forecasting to predict the future, then you can do strategy creation. But there are a few tools. One of the most common one is the time series. So maybe you can see what is happening here. Okay, let's say, for example, if you're worried about the weather temperature, the world temperature, you can see the world temperature go to here. Then most likely in the future, the temperature will go even higher, isn't it? Okay, so that's called the time series analysis. Okay. From the time series, based on historical data, we can project the future. Evaluate the role of forecasting. Yeah, there are many forecasting tools. For example, you may have correlation tools, regression tools, linear programming tools. A very simple one is a time series forecasting. So, which is a correct tool? Depending on the correct question you have, or how advanced are you in mathematical modeling? Yep, how advanced you are. Can you also do research? So you can do research. Yeah, and that research analysis can be used as a forecasting tool. So under 6.3.3, the role of forecasting tools. How do you value the rules when you see that's 3.3? Does the tool predict future trends? Okay. With this tool, does it improve your planning? Will using this tool reduce your risk? If all this is good, your tool is fine. If one or two of them is missing, then maybe you need to go to another tool. Okay. So there are many types of tools. Then your activity. Analyze various methods like time series and scenario planning to determine the impact on proactive decision making. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to go look at your company. Does the company do forecasting? Most companies will do some forecasting. How much to build tomorrow to sell the next day? The forecast was the total sales in the coming year, so they want to. The quantity is very huge. We will make an extra factory. Do we don't stock one? Or we focus the sales going down, do we plan to set and close down something? Tell your company, did they use forecasting? How accurate is the forecasting? And you will see if the forecasting are on average more than 50% accurate, it's good. I think that is 50%. If your forecasting is 50% accurate, then it's like, why? Why so new? Because forecasting is something that's in the future. It's not actual. So sometimes there's an art to forecasting. There may be some instinct that they get from experience. Okay? So it's not that difficult to do badly. But it's very difficult to do. Yeah. So now, next one, we want to look at global challenges under explain, no? No, it becomes even more complicated because we are talking about external assessment within one country. If you're looking at the global, it's even more. Because one part of the world is fighting the other part of the world. One part of the world is rich and the other part of the world is poor. So it becomes more complicated. And every country may have different cultural, economic, political systems, all different. Little bit different here, little bit different there, a lot of difference here, a lot of difference. Right? So there's a lot of corruption. Okay? And for example, in US, every 4 years for election. In Malaysia, every 4 years there's an election. Change of government, change of laws. In China, in Russia, there is no election. So Jinping, Xi Jinping and Putin, they are forever there. So they don't change their laws very quickly. But sometimes in US, they will go for Democratic for years, then Republican for years, then go back and switch again. Even in UK, they have the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. In many countries, you have the far right, the far left, the centralists, the occupant changing every time, which happen to be around 4 to 5 years. So every 4 or 5 years, laws will change. So for nearly every country except for maybe China and Cuba. So it becomes very global challenge. That makes your forecasting clear. Okay? So then maybe things like suddenly pandemic, COVID comes in, whole world affected, or political conflict, fighting here, fighting there, rebels. Okay? So your strategy need to be flexible or need to be able to change very fast when circumstances change. Okay? When circumstances change. Recently, Donald Trump want to use a lot of tariffs. You see the impact of tariff on your company. Okay? Now, one way innovation and technology help you to reduce the complexity of operating in the global. Innovation means to come out new ideas, new ways of doing things for you. Okay? And technology means new tech coming. So sometimes this tool helps you to manage your risk in the global environment. So evaluate the impact of global changes on business and their strategy. 2.4. Evaluate the impact of global challenges. Does it disrupt your operation? You have to rethink your operation when your current operation is disrupted. Does it increase your cost and your risk? Sometimes a new government comes in, they will nationalize your business. Nationalize the business means your business owned by you. The government comes in and say, no, the business not owned by you. You lose everything. Where does it normally happen? In African countries. South American countries. New government comes in, they have no money to take away your business. That is called failure. Crazy. Drives innovation. So because of this, we need to innovate to protect. Companies need to have their own innovation, to make use of new innovation, to have their new technology, or make use of new technology to protect themselves. To protect themselves. That's all. So now we look at 3.4. The activity of 3.4. Given the impact of global size, economic instability, and culture on business operating worldwide, and that's how these factors complicate the implementation of cost system. Because every country is different. We talk about global needs. You need to have different strategies for different countries. Okay? So you need to invest. Every country is unique. Some are rich, some are poor. Some got different GDP growth. Some got different income parity. Okay? Some got more loans. Some got lesser loans. Government loans. Government borrow loans. And so forth. Some got high inflation. Some is deflation. And so forth. Cost of capital. Some countries may be highly skilled workers. Some countries are lazy workers. We need to consider. So now we go to the last one. The competitive profile metrics. This is a good example. Okay, I think very simple. Let's say, for example, you are Starbucks. Who are your competitor? McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, so you identify for Starbucks, your company, to succeed in the industry. So these are some key factors: advertising, product quality, product variety, price competitiveness, financial position, customer loyalty, global expansion, customer service, total. This is called the weight. Everything add up to one. Which you think is very important, product quality, so you go higher mark. But everything come back to one. Understand? That's called the weightage. The weightage of the factors. Which factor is more important for you to succeed as a business? Okay, then Starbucks. Here, you can have maybe 1 to 5, 0 to 5, I'm sorry. You may have 0 to 5, right? Or sometimes 4 is very good, 5 is very bad, and 5 is very good, and then maybe 1 is very bad. So you can, so advertising, we are very high. Starbucks very good for advertising. Compared with McDonald's, not so good. Compared with Dunkin', it's even worse. Also 3. Okay? So now you put in all your rating. Okay? There's no need to have minus sign. It's just that the 1 is good, 1 is bad, and 4 is very good. Okay? Or 5 is very good. So you take times up and then you see. You just add up. Oh, we are not so good compared with McDonald's. Where are we not so good? Okay, so we are good here. We are no good in here. Price competitiveness. Understand? Okay, so if I'm a Starbucks, do I want to increase? Maybe to feel it, to challenge McDonald's. So if we increase this rating, we become cheaper. Then the rating maybe become 5. So this 1 compared with 0.8, then we can increase. So there are certain areas, McDonald's is better than us. We can look which is better, which is McDonald's better. We can do something, okay, to counter. So the same as Dunkin' Donuts. What's the problem with this one? First, are these all the factors? You think only, no. Hopefully you think correctly now. Then the weightage is the weightage. Is the weightage correct? Let's say, for example, this is Starbucks, this is McDonald's, this is another company that does not have store one. It's doing e-commerce one. They don't have advertisement one, or doesn't mean they're no good. You understand or not? Right. So sometimes the weighting is affected by how you, Starbucks, put in the weighting. So you put in this weighting wrongly, the weight wrongly, of course, must have better 1.0, it will affect your score. Next, when you're putting this rating here, you better be honest. Okay? You don't bluff bluff. So if you bluff bluff, your score will be bad. So at the end of the day, if this is 3.15 and this 3.25, does that mean McDonald's is better? Yes. For that particular market. Because you do this one for every country. You understand? It's not just one global. So in certain countries, Starbucks is worse off than McDonald's. In certain countries, Starbucks is more than McDonald's. That's what the strategy for country will be different. So this is good. Provided the wastage, the factor is correctly done. You don't need to put 10, you may put 20 or 30, I don't care. As long as tie back is equal to 1. Putting the factors correctly, identify the correct factors, put in the weightage, the importance to the society, to the which of these factors is important, the level of importance. I come back to that, right? And then be honest to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Do all this rating, and then a matter of times and some countries you are good, don't do anything. Some countries you are worse off. Where are we worse off? Can we improve, or maybe we should not improve? It's not all the time that you must be first in every country. You can if of course you want to, but you may not have the resources. That's the issue. If you have the resources, then you can fight in every country in the world. You don't have enough resources. You think Starbucks got unlimited money? Right? That's the problem. So you have to select which country that you want to attack. Most likely those countries is lower marks than McDonald's. And having you select which country you want to elect, how you want to start? Using your own money or borrowing the money? Because with money, you can actually change some of the rating points. Not the weightage point, the rating points. And every country, maybe this point also may be different. Every country, maybe this point may be different. The weightage may be, of course, must tie back to 1. And some countries may not be having the same factors. So you are doing for every country. And do you only do for 3? You can do for 4, 5, 6. Up to you. Having this, you can also look at this. And from there, can you understand? Those that's worse off or not is your weakness. Those that are better than one is can be your strength. Okay, so the weakness and strength can be identified. Okay, okay, and also like for example, under customer loyalty, these are external opportunity and threats. Okay, and for example, product quality, that will be your internal issue, internal assessment. Customer loyalty may be an external assessment. Okay, so from there you can also make your SWOT. Okay, so this is how you do. So let's look at the video. The video show you how to make a CPM, okay, competitive profile. It's actually not that difficult to do, and it's easy to understand. Okay, so the important thing is that you have to be very honest to yourself when you're doing this. Okay, how does this aid your business? So let's look at 3.6. Sorry, 3.5. Do you identify the key competitors? Now, how do you know who are your key competitors? If you are in a particular industry, okay, let's say for example, I'm Nestle. Now I got Nestle. I got many products in Nestle. I got Milo, I got milk, I got, for example, milk cakes or sweets or ice cream. So each one of them, you cannot just do Nestle, one company. So maybe it's Nestle ice cream. You need to compare with Wall's ice cream, you need to compare with Magnolia ice cream. Because you are in very specific Nestle ice cream. So you don't do Nestle, you compare with maybe Kitty Cat. No. Maybe you compare with another company, Mars. No. You compare based on your CPM is comparing based on nearly the same time. Okay, nearly the same time. Now, even just now I show you the example, Starbucks versus McDonald's. It's actually not, because McDonald's also sells dessert. So you should be comparing Starbucks with McCafe. Understand? And donut is also selling donut. Okay, so Starbucks is normally selling drinks. So Starbucks should be comparing with McCafe or compare with Gloria Jeans or Zeus. Okay, Zeus, the Malaysian brand. Okay, or Miss Zui, they are selling drinks. Okay, so you need to do that. Okay, so you need to identify correctly. Okay, the next one is highlight critical success factor. Those factors that you have, make sure these are highlight factors. So if you go through and see that factors is wrong or not enough, or some useless factors added in for nothing, you will take it out. Okay, and then last slide, guys, your strategic improvement. Do you use the CPM? Does it help you to do your SWOT? If your CPM helps you to do the SWOT, you are in the class. At least you have a starting point for it. Okay. Now let's look at your activities. Okay. Do it for your company against your competitor. If you do not know who's your competitor, you are in trouble. You don't even know who to fight. Then how are you going to improve? Okay, so you make sure you understand your competitor. Okay. So just do one. So this is a summary. An external audit helps understand forces like the economy, environment, politics, and technology. Okay. So you can spot opportunity and you can avoid risk. Now the word is avoid risk. Can you eliminate risk? There are certain business that's always just a risk. All business got risk. Two types of risk. One is called inherent, and one is called inherent. Inherent means that business got certain risk they can run away. Okay, we look at supermarket. If you are in the supermarket industry, you handle a lot of cash on. There's so many transactions, and you're putting all the goods everywhere. So people will just steal it. That is an inherent risk. Okay, so how to reduce it? But it's always there. Somebody will steal the things, or somebody will take the thing and then move to another place, then and make a lot of confusion. Those are inherent risks. Okay. Now the other risk is called inherent risk. There's certain industry that you can avoid the risk. You don't have to open 24 hours because there's a risk of thief coming in at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So you want to reduce the inherent risk, we open 8 to 5 or 10 to 10. So you reduce the risk that you can be avoided. Risk that can be avoided or mitigated or reduced is called inherent risk. That one we can. But there are certain risks called inherent risk that you cannot do. So we have to live with it. Okay, how to minimize it. Okay, that is risk. Okay, so we can spot opportunity and avoid risk. You cannot eliminate risk. Of course, sir, we can buy insurance. Yes. We can buy whatever theft insurance. But employee negligence sort of insurance. Okay, loss in profit insurance is probably very high premium. Okay, but still you cannot avoid, because if you suffer a loss and you talk to insurance people, the insurance people say part of the problem is because they are very bad internal control, they don't pay. Okay, so avoid risk. Now, closing case, Chinese EV cars within the Europe traffic height service is one very good example of external risk. So you can just read it. And these are the model answers, key terms, and these are the reference. Again, I of course like to recommend this book. Latest one, 2023, 18th edition. Okay, so I think that's all. We will move to chapter 4 next. Okay, so let me just key in the attendance, download the attendance. I will stop sharing now, and I will stop recording it.